because we came at building software a different way. Like, obviously, we built mobile apps, but really, I kind of had this vision of building a company that was talent oriented or talent driven all the way, like from every single decision. So it was just kind of really good timing that the iPhone had come out, and I've been thinking about it for years. And so when the iPhone came out, we kind of just connected the iPhone and this idea of a talent driven or talent oriented organization, mashed them together and said, let's go do that. And then I think because it's so hard to build great software, it's so hard to build this stuff, that by attracting the best talent and really that they're all on the same song sheet. So I think what we kind of figured out how to do was get everyone to blow a certain trumpet and still be attracting world-class people. I think that those two combos did it. My original theory was just this idea that you have the scientists and humanities, the robots and the pencils, and then you basically design the company from the bottom up to basically try to attract talent versus try to like attract customers. Like, we went at the total other way. I think it's this idea that we've come into a new era, and that this idea that software isn't B2B, software isn't B2C, software is H to H, it's human to human. The way that we come at it is we basically say, we're building software for the people who are going to use it. It's obvious that the speed at which you need to try things is increasing, not decreasing. And in the context of an early stage company, it's actually trying to not be overly innovative. Because if everything in your stack is innovative, it's just mind-blowing to people. Innovation is actually rife with failure. But if they're experiments, they're not failure. In fact, as soon as you call it an experiment, you're like, I don't know if this is going to work, but that's why I'm only asking for $10,000. If I thought it was going to work, I'd ask you for $10 million. So in our context, we want the innovation to come from the team. So we internally call it FTT, or follow the talent. And the team themselves dictate what we work on. So we in management, we're just more air traffic controller. Creativity loves constraints. And I think design is born from constraints. And so the phone itself, I think, actually ushered in a whole new wave of, like, I'll say design thinking and design mattering. The ability for us to have an actual impact on humanity hasn't even started yet. When I think about things like the law of accelerating innovation, how much innovation is going to happen, how much faster it's happening, we're basically it's really pretty hard not to be passionate around so much impact on humanity and so much impact on transformation. And you have these brand new devices that essentially everybody owns. Like, that wasn't true from before with the PC. Well, I think at the end of the day, like, you don't really have a company if you don't have a team. And building any type of interesting business is so much a team sport. It's crazy, especially in software. So actually, in your very, very DNA, if you're the CEO, you're not on the field. You're the coach from the very, very beginning. So that means that actually, fundamentally, you actually have to figure out how to make a high-performing team. Think about, you're building a modern enterprise that's trying to be around for 100 years. It's completely talent-oriented. And if the talent's not on top and high-performing as a team, you're not going to do anything. Alberta, Calgary, as an example, send a message that say, it's okay to try stuff, right? It's totally okay. We're going to break new frontier. Let's go do stuff. I would say that my thing that over time, I felt like we could do better is even be more bold. If I scooped 100 people out of, let's say, Calgary or Alberta, and I scooped 100 people out of another, say, state, I'd have more talented people in the Alberta scoop. You need to have the secret of not what got us here. You need to be asking what's our new secret for the next 5 years. I think it's pretty cool. Like, obviously, being an Alberta-based company, you've seen, like, I would say, a lot of amazing people go through the ASTech Awards stuff. And so to me, things like the ASTech Awards, that's a time to pull back and be, like, thankful for everything that's happened. That's a time to go back and look at the, one part of the cathedral that we've actually built. The more that you can actually see success and talk to people of what they've done, the more that you can pattern that after yourself. The more that we shine the light and the more that we tell the stories, the more success is going to come out. This idea of sharing our stories and painting a light and having a chance to meet people, I think it's almost a necessary thing to do it. The more you do it, it's more of an accelerant. So it's like, do you actually have a secret that very few people agree with you on that you're working on? Because if you don't, what are you doing all day long? How are you advancing anything? Because I think that's a really easy thing to ask yourself in the morning. Am I working on something? And when I mentioned it around, that not that many people agree with me on, but I believe deeply in it. And to give you an example of RMP when we started, I really believe deeply in building native Objective-C, which today it's Swift, iPhone apps. I had zero people agree with me. For me to say, this is how hard we're going to work to give you something great.